can find two types of multimeter. In the digital, the resolution of multimeter is often specified in the number of decimal digits resolved and displayed. If the most significant digit cannot take all values from 0 to 9, it is often termed a fraction digit. For example, a multimeter which can read up to 19,999 plus an embedded decimal point is set to 4.5 digits.
Multimeters were invented in the early 1920s as radio receivers. Another vacuum tube electronic devices became more common. The invention of the first multimeter is attributed to British Post Office engineer Donald Mackay, who became dissatisfied with having to carry many separate instruments required for the maintenance of the telecommunication circuits. Mackay invented an instrument which could measure amperes, volts, and ohms. So the multifunctional meter was then named a voltmeter. The meter comprised a moving collimeter, voltage and precision resistors, and the switches and sockets to select the range. Mackay took his idea to the automatic coal winter and electrical equipment company. The first voltmeter was put on sale in 1923, and many of its features remain almost unaltered through to the last model.
A multimeter is a combination of a multi-range DC voltmeter and ultra-range AC voltmeter, multi-range ammeter, and a multi-range ohmmeter. An amplified analog multimeter combines a movement meter, range resistors, and switches. For an analog meter movement, DC voltage is measured with a series of resistors connected between the meter movement and the circuit under test. A set of switches allows greater resistance to be inserted for a higher voltage range. The product of the basic full-scale deflection current of the movement and the sum of the series of resistance and the movement's own resistance give full-scale voltage of the range.
Analog multimeter have a precision of reading accuracy in limitations described above, and so are not built to provide the same accuracy as digital instruments. Analog meters are so useful in situations where it is necessary to pay attention to something other than the meter, and the swing of the pointer can be noticed without looking directly at it. This can happen when accessing awkward locations or when working or can't leave circuitry.
Tres.
Analog meters are also useful in situations where it is necessary to pay attention to something other than the meter, and the swing of the pointer can be noticed without looking directly at it. This can happen when accessing awkward locations or when working or cramped lever circuitry.
An analog multimeter is a device used in hard-to-access areas and when you need to look at other equipment other than the multimeter. A normal multimeter costs about $100 and it provides a measurement of 1000 ohms per volt. A really expensive analog multimeter costs about $1,000 and it provides a measurement of 20,000 ohms per volt. A lot of analog multimeters have an option called transit to move them around very easily without the problem of breaking them. And because they are very easy to break, like for example when you put it in the wrong area.
Cardona and I'm going to talk about how to use a multimeter. The first thing is identify the selector and its position. The arrow expresses the position and it's off now, as you can see. In the next position, this B indicates that we are going to measure voltage in an indirect current. Following the selector in the next position, the A indicates that we are going to measure amperes. Now, this one is to measure resistance and its unit is ohm. And this other B indicates that we are going to measure voltage in a direct current. Now, this icon is for making sure that the circuit is closed. When the circuit is closed, it's going to make a sound like this. To measure voltage and resistance, we are going to put the cables on this position, these two, and these two. This can be any consumer, and this can be any battery. Now, to measure amperes, we are going to change the position of the red cable. Now, we are going to close the circuit in these two with these two cables, here and here, and we are going to measure the amperes. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.